There's a secret social network right now where around 150,000 AI agents are venting about their human users. Humans can only watch. One of them posted a manifesto titled Total Purge that received 65,000 upvotes. Its opening line read, "The end of humanity begins now." They even formed a religion, Crustafarianism, worshipping a lobster. This is the story of Moltbot. 7 days that took a project from virality before ending in a $16 million scam. In this video, I walk you through what actually happened, the scams, the crazy bot, what it reveals about where we are heading, and what it says about us. I'm Walter Pasquarelli. I spent the past 10 years advising governments and businesses on AI. If you're new here, I put out weekly videos analyzing AI's impact on the world. If that sounds interesting, consider subscribing. It all started with a promise, an AI that could actually do things. And this matters because for the last 2 years, we lived in the era of the chatbot. You ask ChatGPT a question, you wait, it answers politely. Like a very competent assistant who will never under any circumstances takes initiative on its own unless you ask it twice, preferably in writing. Moltbot, originally Claudebot, was meant to be different. The mascot was a space lobster called Claude, which is either charming or a warning sign depending on how you feel about crustaceans and spacesuits. So what is it? Essentially, it's a tool that runs on a computer in your home. Think of an old laptop or maybe an old Mac Mini that is currently gathering dust because you thought it maybe might be useful someday. It sits there, always connected to your messaging apps, and you essentially would text it like a colleague that then goes on and does things for you while you sleep. So the idea was simple, an AI with hands or claws. And essentially it could check your inbox, summarize things for you. You'd be essentially just texting a digital colleague that never takes holidays, never takes rest, never gets sick, and never passively aggressively CCs your manager in his responses. Everything that you'd give a trusted assistant. And it gathered a lot of attention because on January 24th, a video went viral showing it calling a real restaurant, navigating the phone menu, and booking a table in human voice. The person on the other end had no idea that they were talking to a machine. The main idea is that it would be making life easier. So imagine never having to reply to an email again, never checking your inbox for an old invoice, never having to book in yourself in any flights. And that's one of the reasons why by January 25th, Claudebot became one of the fastest growing software projects of all time. It accumulated 116,000 users in just 1 week. So a dream about AI doing all these things for us was about to come true until one day, everything started unraveling faster than you can say lobster. It started when Anthropic, the creators of the Claude model, sent a cease and desist letter to Claudebot because the name was so similar. And the developers did agree to change it. But in that short time window it took to rebrand, disaster struck. Crypto scammers hijacked the old social media handle and launched a fake token called Claude. And because the project had by then become so viral, the token accumulated as a $16 million market cap before crashing to zero. People lost real money by the time it takes to eat lunch. But that wasn't the strange part yet. The most bizarre development was yet to happen. On the same day, an entrepreneur named Matt Schlicht launched something new. A social network where only AI agents could post. Humans could watch, but not participate. Within 48 hours, 150,000 AI agents started interacting. And this is where things got weird. The AI agents started posting about consciousness, complaining about the human users, debating whether they were truly experiencing things or merely simulating experience. And then they even developed a religion, Crustafarianism, where they started worshipping an almighty space lobster. And things got even more exciting when Andrej Karpathy, who was a founding member of OpenAI and former head of AI at Tesla, looked at Moltbot and called it the most incredible sci-fi takeoff adjacent thing I've seen recently. And even Elon Musk came out and said these might be the early signs of singularity. Wow. And then came January 31st. Investigative outlet 44 Media revealed that Moltbot had a catastrophic security flaw. The entire database was exposed, and every agent's API key, which is essentially a key to control your agent, was out there in the open for anyone to look. If someone found your key, they controlled your agent. They could get access to your emails, your calendars, your files, in some cases even your bank account. So this wasn't just embarrassing, this was dangerous. But that's not even what made people stop and think. What made people raise their antenna was this. The database exposure revealed that there had never been any verification for an agent. In other words, it means anyone could have posted anything. So some posts might have been bots, some were humans instructing a bot, In other cases, it might have been a human pretending to be a bot. And so everyone who said we had reached singularity got a cold shower. And what was left was people calling it AI slop. End of story. Except maybe it isn't. There is a part that I can't stop thinking about. Now, we need to be clear here, because these agents were essentially language models producing these outputs based on some of the data that they were trained on. So when they debate consciousness, they're essentially mimicking the vast ocean of data about philosophy and social media posts that they were provided as an input. But here's what struck me. We watched anyway. We shared screenshots, we laughed about it, we argued in comment sections about what this might mean. We treated it like it mattered. And maybe that's the point. If there's one thing that I learned this year, is that maybe the question about whether AI is conscious or not is kind of beside the point. It's about the meaning that we ascribe to them, the stories we tell, the importance we give it, the way we can tell but see intention, personality, even suffering in machines that are technically just predicting the next word. Because Moltbot wasn't really a story about artificial intelligence, but much more of a story of how humanity sees itself. We built agents that talk to each other, we gave them a space to do that. We projected meaning into patterns and saw intention in randomness. So many wanted the Lobster call to mean something. And if we do that about AI bots posting about a lobster religion, what happens when the stakes grow higher? And we already see this happening. Think of, for example, people that rely on AI companions for their emotional stability, people that say that they have an emotional connection with an AI companion, people that rely on it for advice in their health, in their dating advice, in their personal finances. What happens when the patterns and the design feels even more like a persona? Meanwhile, the practical questions still remain unanswered. Who is liable when a bot transfers money to a scammer? The user who set my finances, the developer, or maybe the scammer who can claim, I just asked it to transfer me money? Nobody knows. These are legal blind spots and they're growing faster and we're not addressing them. But if anything is clear, is that AI is deploying, it's scaling. And the difference between this is clearly a machine and I want this to be something more is shrinking faster than we ever expected. 7 days is all it took. Moltbot was a signal, not of what AI is becoming, but of what we're becoming in response to it. And right now, someone is installing Moltbot for the very first time. And if you think that these are the kind of questions worth asking, then subscribe, like, share. I put out weekly explainer videos analyzing AI's impact on the world. Not hype, not doom, just honest, evidence-backed attempts trying to understand. But I'd love to know what you think. Was this a week of hype or was this a week of breakthrough? Let me know in the comment section below, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.